Hello and welcome to the Amazon EC2 screencast presentation brought to you by Group C. Let's start by explaining what EC2 is. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, or Amazon EC2, provides computing capacity in the Amazon Web Services Cloud and is a central part of Amazon.com's cloud computing platform. When selecting Amazon EC2 as your cloud provider, that comes with some distinct benefits. For one, it alleviates the need to purchase your own expensive hardware upfront, which vastly shortens the time needed to deploy applications. You can use Amazon EC2 to dynamically launch servers, configure personally selected security and networking preferences, and manage storage. Amazon EC2 allows us to scale up or down to handle sudden increases in use. It is relatively inexpensive and makes sense in most situations.
Now, when we talk about elastic, this is not the elastic that we're talking about.
Kisser, show that knight who's boss.
On the contrary, Elastic Cloud is painless. What's so elastic about it? It allows users to rent virtual computers on which they can run their own computer applications. All that means is that you can create, launch, and terminate instances as needed. Now, let's say you only need low computing power and you never really need to grow. This is still for you. You can pay for exactly what you use. But then, one day, everyone and their mom decides to visit your site. You're still sitting pretty because new instances are able to be created, launched, and terminated as needed. You can pay for exactly what you use. Now, is it good for a small business? Yeah, we talked about this, but it's also good for a big one. As you can see, companies like Netflix, Roku, and even NASA use EC2 for their computer applications. They recognize that sometimes they will only need to use a certain amount of computing power, and at other times they'll need a lot of computing power. So EC2 allows them to switch dynamically between these two.
Kind of like what Dallin talked about, one of the banner-worthy benefits that EC2 offers is reliability. With how reliable EC2 is, there are a ton of chances to save money and customize instances to more specifically meet needs. EC2's elastic load balancing offers load distribution, and the auto-scaling functionality ensures availability and scale, which results in highly available applications from the get-go. As you can see in the graphic above, in a normal situation, a company pays for the highest server load across the board. But with EC2, we are able to ramp up with demand and ramp back down once it subsides. In this example, it is essentially saving us 1/3 of overall cost. Lastly, Amazon offers a periodic performance evaluation that will let you know how well you are utilizing their services and if there are other ways to come in and save money. As you can see with the picture, the security measures for EC2 are recognized in technological communities. Seriously though, there's like 15 there. Not only that, but Amazon services offer secured premises, storage keys, communications, network access, users, logins, and the ability to add personalized security functions on top of already existing security measures. There are specialized EC2 instances that already have security functionality available. For instance, there are different instances that are already HIPAA certified to handle sensitive information.
Now, one of the greatest aspects of EC2 is that you have access to computing power and capabilities that would cost much, much more were you to purchase and host the hardware yourself. So just by using EC2, you are freed from the costs and complexities of purchasing and maintaining hardware. This transforms what would be large fixed costs into much smaller variable costs. In short, using EC2 is inexpensive. So how much does it cost to use? Well, that depends really on your needs. Again, EC2 is built to be elastic, like Dallin said. What do you want to do? How much compute power do you need to do it? EC2 offers different packages that are optimized for 5 different purposes: general use, computing, graphics processing, memory, and storage. Based on your need, you will fall into a specific pricing category. This pricing information can be found on Amazon's site. To give a specific example, here's the pricing chart for general purpose instances. As you can see, a general purpose EC2 instance with 4 CPUs and 16 gigs of RAM will cost 2 cents per hour to use. That is about $13.50 per month. That's less than dry cleaning. How cheap is that? That's pretty cheap. If EC2 weren't convenient enough already, they also offer usage reports, like Matt said, to let you know how efficiently you are using your current plan and if a different plan would better suit you. Now, before you get too excited, a couple words of caution. The lower priced instances are extremely underpowered. Conversely, the instances with extreme compute power are priced very high. So make sure you know your needs and infrastructure budget before you make any final decisions.
Let's see what's on there.
Again, EC2 is priced based on your needs. To give one more example of the many use cases this fills, take a look at these two charts. In red, we see the range of CPUs available on these virtual machines. In green, we see the gigs of RAM. You can get anywhere from 1 to 128 CPUs and anywhere from 0.5 gigs of RAM to 1,952. That's a lot of RAM. You can tell it's a lot of RAM because of the way it is. That's pretty neat.
Now the moment you've all been waiting for. After seeing those neat prices and how great EC2 is, let's go ahead and show you a demo of how to set up a Linux instance of EC2. Let's begin by going to AWS's website at aws.amazon.com. Once we're here, let's zoom in on Compute and select EC2 because that's what we're talking about today. When we visit that page, we'll see we have different options here. We can see the resources that we have, and we have the choice to create an instance. Let's create an instance of EC2. In here, we have several different options as well. We can look at our current AMIs. We don't have any. We can look at the marketplace AMIs. We can even search these AMIs. Let's do a little search and find something. How about a Red Hat instance of Linux? We see we have several different options here. We can select from those. We can also look at community AMIs and filter based on different features like the operating system, the architecture setup, and so forth. Here we have other options that we can choose from. But for now, we're going to go to Quick Start and just find one of the free tier items. Let's begin by choosing an Amazon Linux instance. Now, there are several different instances here with variable CPUs, different network performance, different amounts of memory. Let's select the T2.micro here that has 1 gig of memory and is free tier eligible. We'll click Review and Launch. Now we're reviewing right now. We see the security information and the instance type. Let's keep the defaults and launch. In order for us to be able to successfully authenticate, let's use a key pair. We can create a new key pair and we'll call it Demo. In order to actually use this key pair, we must download it and make sure it's stored in a secure location. Now that we've downloaded that, let's launch our instance. Our instance is now launching. Let's go ahead and view the instance and see what's going on. We can make some changes here. Let's change the name of the instance. Here, I'll give it a name. Let's call it Best Demo Ever, just because this is a great demo. Now we can connect to this. Let's make sure it's checked and we'll click Connect. This will provide us the instructions on how to connect. First, we'll want to go to our terminal, and here we'll change the permissions for the PEM file. Amazon has told us how to do this with the chmod command. Next, because Amazon is so user-friendly, we'll use the example code that they give us here. We can copy and paste this into the terminal. That will connect us to our demo.pem file at our DNS record. It will ask us if we want to connect. We will say yes. Now we've successfully connected to Amazon EC2 using their Linux AMI. We'll sign in as root using sudo su command, and then an ideal thing to do here is to run package updates using yum. Looks like we're up to date. Now when we're done with this instance, we can go select the instance, click Actions, and under the instance state, we can terminate it. This will completely delete this instance, but is a very simple way to get rid of it.
Thanks for watching our video. That's all, folks.